Hi, and welcome to Pawcast, a discussion podcast based in and centered around animal welfare in the Evansville-Vanderburg area. Today we're interviewing Brenden, a rescue dog owner and UE student. Hope you enjoy. Welcome to Podcast. This is episode 1, and today we are joined by Brenden to talk about rescue dogs. I'm Abby Kyle, and
I'm Rafa.
all right, and we'll go ahead and start by hearing some about you, Brenden.
Um, I'm from Evansville. I'm a mechanical engineering student here at UE. I swim here, and I have 3 dogs at home: 2 puppies and 1 rescue dog.
What their names?
Oh, so the puppies' names are Bowie and Winston, and the big dog's name is Henry, the rescue.
Tell about Henry, like his backstory.
His backstory. So we don't know all of his backstory, but he was abused when he was younger and left out on the street. So he was just kind of a wild dog for a while with a lot of trauma and issues. Um, and a place called PC Pound Puppies put out an ad on the local radio station website, and we adopted him from there. He was just skin and bones, so he's nice. He's nice and fat now.
Yeah, and how was it like rehabilitating him?
Um, it was difficult at first. It was definitely a learning process. Um, he didn't want to walk down the hallways. He didn't want to walk through doorways. Didn't want to walk through doors. Didn't like the slick flooring. Um, so he was just really scared of everything at first. But then there was like a 2 week trial period that we had with Henry where we basically had him for 2 weeks. And if we didn't we decided that we didn't want him after 2 weeks, then we would give him back. But it kind of just like clicked instantly where he was just like, this is where he belongs. He was jumping on the furniture, and then we were just like, yeah, he's ours now. So
What about like your other shelter dogs?
um,
Were
there
they different from Henry?
um, the others were we had a Rottweiler named Allie. She was a rescue, but not as much trauma as Henry had had. She was um, really easy with that transition into domesticated, being back into a domesticated household.
And Henry and the puppies, they can live together,
Right.
basically.
So there was a time where we had another schnauzer named Jackson living in our house, and they they had lived together fine for like a year, Henry and this other schnauzer before the puppies. And there was one day where my mom had come home from work, and she was walking through the front door, and I had opened it for her. And so, as dogs do, they run to the front door and to greet the owners and whatnot. And when they did that, either Henry stepped on Jackson, or and then Jackson retaliated or something. But it was a dog fight, and I mean there was blood everywhere. Jackson's head was in Henry's mouth. I mean, it was just something. And then that has actually changed Henry, and he can't be around any little dogs now. Um,
Any dogs at all, or just little dogs?
uh, Little dogs for the moment. We're gonna try to take him out to dog parks and whatnot, muzzled, but um, we don't want any incidents,
Yeah.
especially with new puppies. So yeah, that was something when we were throwing packages at Henry to try to get them separated, and he just hasn't been the same. Anytime there's a little dog, he growls. Even if he's in his cage and the puppies run by, he'll growl like a low growl, just kind of like a get away from me kind of thing.
Yeah, and he didn't act like that before.
Mm-mm.
It just like happened
Yeah.
one day.
Yeah, that's why we think maybe he got stepped on or something because it was over a year that they had been like together. I mean, they had laid on the ground next to each other taking naps together, so that was really like shocking to see, and it was just like, wow, they can't be together anymore.
Yeah.
Little dogs at all. So,
Does it make like hard on daily
um,
life? I'm saying.
yeah, it's definitely difficult in the household. Being that you have to take turns with the dogs. They got to have even time because when we had first gotten the puppies, especially, um, obviously you're like, oh, puppies, new puppies, let's
Mhm.
play with them all the time. And so Henry didn't get as much time and attention out, and he started to notice that and was just kind of like being moody all the time and hanging his head low. But obviously we've reincorporated a better schedule that fits for both of them. And then like for example, taking them outside and like feeding schedules, everything is done separate. We have to double and triple check to make sure that puppies are locked up if Henry's going to come out, and vice versa. If Henry's going to come out, puppies need to be locked up. So it's just like an extra step with like feeding because basically the puppies will get set or get taken care of first, and then Henry. That way, after eating, Henry's usually out for a little bit or whatnot, something like that.
Did it happen any accidents?
Um, there's been some close
Almost.
calls. There's been some close calls for sure. There's one just the other day actually at home where my dad had heard us saying, oh, we're getting ready to put the puppies up to go to bed. It was probably like 8 o'clock or whatnot at night, and my dad had thought that we were saying, oh, we're gonna go take them to bed. Well, sometimes we tease them because the puppies roll on their back. They're like, oh, we don't want to go in our cage. And he thought that we had taken them and put them up already. So he started letting out Henry. And here comes Henry, and we're like holding the puppies. And so that he had to get grabbed and put back in his cage real quick so we could go put them up. Um, yeah, there's definitely been some close calls. Never any full on, like they're just out together
Major.
all of a sudden. Yeah, nothing major yet.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So, what have you guys been doing like in the way of trying to re-socialize him or like any planning or like how is that going just like trying to get him to go out? Like you said earlier, you're
Right.
going to try to take him to dog parks
Right.
and
So
everything.
like a couple of our like ideas, we haven't really acted on them a whole lot, being busy and all that. But like he's gonna have to be muzzled because we can't really take any chances. Um, he'll have like the thing on his leash that says basically "Don't come near me." I'm not sure if he's exactly safe to be around for other dogs
Yeah.
yet. But yeah, like dog parks, we're gonna try to take him out walking, especially down by like the Newburgh Locks and Dam.
Mhm.
Take him walking up and down that walkway along there. Just trying to get him out, especially. The puppies have plenty of socialization. They go sometimes to doggy daycare and they
Mhm.
just spend the whole time there. But yeah, definitely some plans with Henry. Um, but it's just hard trying to plan that and making sure everything is going to be safe and work out correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. And so he has trouble with dogs now, but like what about people and especially like kids? Do you guys like know?
Oh, he loves people.
Yeah.
He's a people person, and that obviously you can't ever be too relaxed around him, but we found that he is completely fine with people. Like as soon as they come into the house, he's just like, oh, like who are you? And then it's like, okay, come play.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was never scared of me at
No.
all.
Nope. So he's just he loves women. He loves girls. He, I don't know why. Well, maybe I do, but he he just nonstop wants to be with people. And he just wants to, even just in the presence of people. Like if everyone's in the kitchen or like there's nothing really happening around the house, he'll just lay in the middle of the kitchen floor while mom is trying to cook or something. Or if he's at the dinner table, he'll just sit or walk around the dinner table. He just wants to be around people a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't really have any like of the trauma from people themselves. I think it was just like actions that were taken on him and stuff like that. Like we've always been able to like if we set down his food bowl for him and he starts eating, we've always been able to just walk right up and take it from him. There's no aggressiveness or anything. So, which is really shocking in a
Yeah.
rescue dog. So,
Yeah. And this is I couldn't remember if you said it was your first rescue dog or
he would be our second.
second.
Right.
Okay. How was the experience with your first?
Allie was really sweet, really protective of kids. That's when I was younger, a lot younger.
Mhm.
Um, she was very protective of us, me and my sister. Anytime, neighbors would come over. There was a time when my neighbor had come over, and um, being in a smaller town just above Evansville, um, some neighbors just, walk in your front door.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, and my parents are from Detroit and they're not used to that.
Mhm.
So when that had happened, it startled my mom, and that dog actually ran to the door to protect us and scared him out. So we just had to explain, like, she's a rescue, but she's very protective of the children,
Yeah.
especially. So we were young kids at that point.
Yeah, so she was another rescue that like hadn't experienced cruelty from humans.
Right.
Yeah.
There was not much like cruelty that she had experienced. I think it was more of, she was just like given back to her shelter, or she was just given to a shelter and was like, you know, like we can't take care of her anymore.
Mhm.
So here you go. So we took her in, and then she ended up doing great. She worked in the yard with us. She pulled a wagon with full of like stones or whatever we
Mhm.
needed to do. She was trained perfectly. She had gotten a certification along with one of our other dogs that we had at the time. They were together all the time. They had got a certification where they could go into hospitals and like meet with patients and
Wow.
like cheer them up and stuff. They were certified and all that, which was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Your mom don't want another shelter dog, right?
It's not the shelter dog that she doesn't want again. It's the shedding.
Oh.
My parents are getting older. They just don't want a shedding dog anymore. Many schnauzers don't shed, so
Mhm.
there's not really an issue with that. But Henry is his main breed is Anatolian Shepherd, and they have a lot of thick hair that just it gets everywhere. It's almost worse than a German Shepherd, and they have thick necks, and their hair is just everywhere. It's on
Mhm.
everything, all over the ground, everywhere.
Yeah.
Would you get another one?
Would I get another shelter dog? I would. Um, I think I'd have to take the time to definitely work with training and stuff like that. We tried training with Henry at first. At first, he hated it.
Mm.
We had to use like a certain type of collar. That way, he would listen. And he would yell and stuff like that and holler and bark. Not in like an aggressive way towards us, but because he was in discomfort. He didn't like being there.
Yeah.
And he was very stimulated by all of the other dogs there that was in this like training class.
Mhm.
So we ended up having to stop that, but he's done very well with what he did learn in that short time that we had taken him. So he knows a lot of the basics of like sitting, laying down. His command to come is touch, so he touches our hand. Um, he knows he can shake. He knows a lot of the basics, and he's pretty good now.
Yeah.
But I guess it depends. Like, not all shelter dogs are like aggressive.
Right, right. I'd say we've been very lucky. We actually before we got Henry, we had went to see another shelter dog, and it was some sort of pit bull mix, I think.
It also depends a lot of the breed too.
Right, and we had gone in and we had brought another dog that we had at the time. I think we had brought Jackson with us, and Jackson was in his cage, or no, they were both held at by the leash, but very far from each other. And this dog just very aggressive, was very determined to kill Jackson, and it was just very clearly it was deep barking, slobbering everywhere, just constant tension on the leash. Um, we just had to pass that one up,
Yes.
unfortunately.
Would not have worked for
No,
your guys' situation.
right, and like I feel like even if we would have let that one out of the cage when Jackson was put up, I think there still would have just been an issue of it trying to get into the cage. So,
Yeah. Yeah, so you guys have quite a bit of experience with training dogs that
yes, yes.
yeah. Um so what um what would you say is like the hardest what has been the hardest thing to like train with them so far, or like try to help them, or what takes the most time?
Right. Baths are a hard one with
Mhm.
Henry. He does not like to go for a bath, and we're trying to get him to understand that when we say that it's time to take a bath, and when we grab him by the collar, that he doesn't try to pull away, that like it's okay, it's gonna be okay. He knows anytime we say bath that he doesn't want to go down the hallway anymore.
Yeah.
That's what leads to the bathroom. Um,
Your mom said he did
and
last time.
yes, he did very well these past two times when I was back home, and I actually got to see it firsthand. She
Did see
said,
improvement.
"Okay, Henry, come on, it's time to take a bath." And she grabbed him by his collar, and he resisted at first, and then when he realized he wasn't getting away from it, he was just kind of like moseyed on down the hallway and jumped right in, which is a lot of progress from when we had first had to give him baths. I had to basically help my mom while she pulled. I took a towel, folded it in half, wrapped it under his back legs, and lifted his 100 something pound body off of the ground and into the bathtub
Oh wow.
because he just would not at all. But um, definitely listening for baths, and then with the puppies, um, Winston does not like recall, like
Mm.
being called to come to you. He doesn't even like to listen to his name. Bowie's great. On the other hand, he basically wants to do anything you say. But Winston doesn't want anything to do with any commands unless a treat is involved. And they're so smart. There's not a treat. He won't listen. But so yeah, those are probably the hardest with bathing, and just it's a big learning process when you have different ways of disciplining dogs in different ways. Um, because with shelter dogs you can't be very aggressive. And when we had first got Henry, and um, my dad yells sometimes when he gets frustrated, and Henry wasn't listening, and he started to get worked up, and Henry decided he didn't like that, and he wasn't gonna tolerate it, so he started growling and showing his teeth and stuff like that. But that hasn't really happened anytime recently. So
What is Henry's? Henry's a mix.
he's a mix of his main breed is Anatolian Shepherd. So they're used for guarding sheep on farms and stuff like that. From like coyotes and stuff like that. And his other breeds, there's some sort of mastiff in his breed, and the first time we had gotten a DNA test was um, around the time we'd first gotten him, and Anatolian Shepherd shows up almost every time. It's like 98% or 90 something percent of his breed. And then like the first time was like some Egyptian racing dog, and we were like, we don't know if that's right because that dog was like super small and super skinny. All that really had was distinct that looked like Henry was the curly tail, but Anatolians have that curly tail too. So um, I'm not actually too sure now. We got another one. My mom might know the other breed. There's another like two or three, I think, but Anatolian Shepherd is the big one.
And you got
Sure.
tested to know his age.
Yes, yes, we actually just got that recently. So when he came to us, we got him around Christmas time, and the vet had told us that he might be 2 years max. We're probably looking at like a year and a half to a year old, and that was back in 2020, I believe.
Hmm.
So right around COVID time, he's a COVID dog for sure. Um, and yeah, we just got a DNA test where we swabbed him, sent it to them, and then they gave us like an age range, and we think they pretty much hit it spot on if the vet is correct with what they told us. The DNA test said he was about
6.
6. He's basically just turned 6. He's like 6 and 2 months
Oh wow.
as of February. So, and then if we got him, obviously it's 2026 now. So if we got him in 2020, then we think they pretty much had his age right on the money, a year and a half. So, yeah, he's probably about 6 years old, just turned 6 years and 2 months.
The
So,
puppy is 1 year and
yeah, the puppies are like just now a year old. We got them. Uh,
November.
it was October and November, I believe. October and November they were born. We got them closer to December. We basically seen all of their stages of life.
Yeah. So that was pretty recent that you just got them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we had like birth photos and then some very like graphic birth photos of them. I mean, we've seen everything of theirs.
They're not puppies anymore.
They're not. They came home to us. They almost looked like you could just hold one in each hand, no problem. Now they're so big. Like they're way bigger in a year. It's crazy how fast because you get them, you're just like, oh, I want to keep them this little puppy stage a little
Yeah.
longer, and then even just like 4 weeks later, they're already so much bigger. They grow so fast, it's insane.
Yeah. Are they related?
Yes, they are. They're both from the same litter. They're twins.
Oh.
But one is Bowie is white and Winston is
Yeah, Bowie is like a white and gray color, and we were hoping he would have two different colored eyes. Um, we they breeded the two, the mom and dad together to try to get another litter with two colored eyes, um, because the father has a green eye and a brown eye. And usually a couple in the litter have a different eye, but actually this litter didn't have any
Oh wow.
with two different colored eyes. So, but Bowie was named after
David Bowie.
David Bowie,
Mhm.
and then Winston was just my sister was like, let's name him Winston. And I was like, okay. And Winston has like this little mustache. It's darker here on his above his lip than it is on anywhere else on his face. Um, but yeah, they're from the same litter. Didn't get any two different colored eyes out of them, but yeah, Winston is brown and tan. He's tan on his legs and brown on the rest of his body. And then Bowie is like gray and white, basically everywhere else. He's like a silver gray and white.
Yeah. So it's been like kind of a stark difference on having a rescue dog and then
Mhm.
like raising these puppies from like
Right, right.
tiny.
Yeah, you definitely having to see it at the same time and do it at the same time, because you get the puppies and you can start from scratch basically,
Mhm.
while at the same time it's always a learning process with rescue because like even after having him a year, one little thing, whatever that triggered, um, and he lashed out and they both went at it, and he hasn't really been the same, especially around other dogs, other little dogs. Um, Randomly though, he likes to just play like with other dogs. There's a neighbor on our dead end street that their dog gets out all the time. I don't know. We don't know if they don't watch it or whatever, but it'll run up to our fence, and then Henry will. He won't bark aggressively. He won't try to go after it aggressively, but he'll like he'll drop down in like the puppy play pose and just try to play a bunch of times and run back and forth along the fence, which is interesting because if it's in the house, then I'm sure something would go wrong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we definitely get to see it from two different sides at the same time.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us and telling us about your dogs.
Thank you for your time, Brenden.
Of course.
Yes, thank you so much.
Anytime.
All right. That was it. Thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much for listening to Pawcast. We hope you enjoyed and learned something new today. For more content, find us on Apple Music, Spotify, and firesideradio.edu as Pawcast, or YouTube and Instagram as Pawcast 2026. See you next time.